Coming up on this episode of the Designers of Change podcast.
Ever go to war where there are no spoils?
Yes, yeah.
Spoils, meaning you don't show up to fights that you have nothing to win. And that's something that we actually live by. If it is going to cost you too much to engage in that thing, in that activity, to be a part of that group, to make that decision, if you know there's nothing to be gained, if it's going to cost you too much, then you refrain from it. Thank you for tuning in to Designers of Change. We are now on episode 3 and we're super excited because season 2 kind of kicked off in such a powerful way. And I love how all the episodes have just lined up perfectly. So we spoke last time about planning.
Yes.
Planning is the highest act of faith. Amazing. And today we're going to be focusing on how to make winning decisions.
Yeah.
All right. So as always, Jamar and I, we make sure that we equip you with what you need to ensure that 2026 is one of your greatest years yet. But of course, Designers of Change have some amazing partners and we have to just mention them. Of course, Jace Myrie Media has been doing a tremendous job with us here on set and otherwise. Also, Superlative Auto, Mind Food International, our vision child, our brainchild, as well as Caribbean Gospel TV, Grace Creates, Vibrance Creative Studio, Amanda's Kitchen, and also MAAD 97.5 FM all the way from Guyana.
And it's good to kick off this episode with winning decision because this is the thing is, babes. They say when we are born, we look like either of our parents.
Right.
But when you take your last breath, you are going to look like your decisions.
My word.
And guess what? All of our decision comes with either a consequence or a reward.
Right.
And so when we make good decision, it compound over a period of time and it brings us reward that we want in life. The thing about life, babes, is that life is not life. Our action in life, most of our action in life, they are delayed. There are some things in life that are immediate. For example, a person may smoke cigarette and nothing happens to that person today.
Right.
But if they continue down that path with that decision, it will compound and probably give them a consequence that they don't like. And so the thing is that life either comes with a reward or a decision comes with a consequence. And so we have to be mindful of the decision that we are making in life. So if we want to win, if we want to fulfill those purpose, if we want to fulfill those vision, we have to make the right decision. And we are talking about personal and both as leaders, because if we make bad decision over a period of time as a leader, we might destroy something that we have taken years to build. And so we want to ensure that when we are making decisions, they are guided by true north principle. I'm not saying that people can't make bad decisions, because who in life doesn't make some decision that he or she does not regret? All of us will make some foolish decision. But what we are saying, we don't want you to go down on a path making perpetual foolish decision that will bring you a consequence that you don't want in your life.
Absolutely. That's so powerful because again, you know, as you mentioned, the reward or the consequence is not immediate. You have people who do great things, amazing things, and they don't get reward like the day after, next year or 2 years. Sometimes it takes many years.
It takes years.
Likewise, people who may not make the best decisions and they have done that for a period of time, the consequences compound, but not only does it not show up the day after, but it takes time to
takes
as
time.
well.
And I like the way you put it, that decisions good decision, it takes time, because someone might start a company
Right.
and they are laboring it for years. And here's the thing about life will have you in obscurity for a while, and you are
Yes.
labeling it, you are going at it, you are making the right decision. I don't want you to get weary
Right.
and give up, because a lot of time, sometime a person can be making the right decision and they don't know that they are making the right decision, because life is not instant. It takes a lot of time. It
Absolutely.
takes a lot of time for us to get to where we are going. And so if you are making the right decision, continue on that path. And wherever you are making those not so good decision,
Right.
you can turn your life around, so that when you take your last breath, you will look like the right decision that you have made in life.
Powerful, powerful. You know, a thought just came to mind not long ago, because when we're talking about decisions and you spoke about obscurity,
Yes.
this is the place where people literally will give up.
Yes, obscurity.
Isn't this the place that people
Yes.
they're like, okay, it doesn't make any sense that I'm trying to start this business because things are not working out and I'm not making the money I thought I was going to make, or I'm not seeing the progress. And so they give up. So, you know, even while making good decisions, when you're in a place of obscurity, you're not seeing the results you want. And if you're not careful, you will think that you're doing something wrong.
Yes, if you're not careful, because let's say a leader start a business, but he or she is doing the right thing.
Right.
And they are laboring in obscurity. They are laboring, they are doing the right thing. They can be distracted by somebody who is not doing something
Right.
on the right path, and that person may blow up and they might change and feel the consequence. But you can't watch somebody who's going down on that bad trajectory, because the truth is, eventually those person, their decision will catch up with them. And so you want to make winning decision,
Right.
because this is a long-term run. It is prudent. And guess what, the race is not for the swift.
I love that you
The race
mentioned that.
is not for the swift. And so if you are doing the right thing, continue doing the right thing, it will eventually pay it off. And when we make winning decision in our life, eventually we will win, because these winning decision, it is not for now. It's not for now. It's for the long term. But guess what? Your reward is there. But guess what? When we make bad decision, poor decision repeatedly, it's going to compound. And even if you get away with it today, eventually those decisions is going to catch up.
It's gonna
with you.
catch up. And I think a lot of people forget that, you know, you have to be in it for the long haul.
Yes.
And so it's very easy to get caught up in, oh, that person started after me and they're doing much better than me. You don't even know what the person is doing.
Yes. Yeah.
And if everything they are doing is above board anyways. And so I'm happy that you mentioned that the race is not for
Not the
the swift, but those who can endure. And, you know, when we talk about winning decisions, sometimes, and I was talking to a friend about this, sometimes you make a decision thinking that you're doing the right thing.
Yes, there are some time where you can make a decision and we think we have made the wrong decision. And that sometimes can stem from two things. One, ignorance. We don't know what we are doing. Take, for example, investing. Probably a person might invest on the stock market. They don't have enough knowledge of a particular thing, so that can be ignorance, and they, in their mind, they have made a right decision, but in fact they can make a wrong decision. And so it can be destructive if the person don't know that they are making the wrong decision. Another one is impulsiveness. You can't, when you are making decision in life, you can't be impulsive. Impulsiveness will destroy you. And there are many times that we are impulsive, and sometimes it may come from not being emotionally intelligent. Because I've seen a lot of people, babes, they are impulsive.
They fly off the handle.
They
get mad for everything.
They get mad for everything. And when you are impulsive, it is almost is that we can predict. We can say for surety that you are going to do something foolish if that's your nature of being impulsive.
Right.
And so you can't make winning decision by being impulsive.
Yes, indeed.
So you have to control that.
You have to control impulsiveness. It comes right back to being self-control,
Yes,
because
yes.
even your decision making process, you have a lot of people who don't make good decisions because they just can't control themselves.
yeah, yeah.
They cannot control themselves. They don't have any patience.
No.
We mentioned this earlier, right? And I know that some of the things we're mentioning, you may be saying, boy, it sounds really harsh.
Yes.
But it's actually true. And when you are a leader and you have many responsibilities under your belt, you must have a process by which you make your decisions.
Yeah. You can't be there are leaders who are impulsive. But as a leader, you have to learn to control that impulsiveness, because people is following you, and sometimes you may destroy yourself. A lot of time when a leader destroy his or herself, they also destroy other people, those who follow beneath them. And so you can't be impulsive. You have to control that. To make winning decision, you will have to control your impulsiveness to make good and informed decision.
Powerful. I'm actually looking forward to hearing, the ways to make winning decisions, because I am one of those persons too who will struggle after making a decision to figure out, did I do the right thing or did I not do the right thing? Kind of scenario. And then how do you even become confident with making your decisions? Because some people are so low on confidence and self-esteem that they think every decision they've made is bad. You have people like that,
Yes, yes.
So I'm looking forward to hearing after the break, like, how do we go about making the decisions and, so on. So guys, you want to stick and stay for the second part of this interview. Welcome back to the Designers of Change podcast. We were just having a very in-depth discussion about winning decisions, and I love where we paused for a little bit, but we want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors. Thank you so much to Jace Myron Media, Mind Food International, Superlative Auto, Caribbean Gospel TV, MAAD 97.5 FM, all the way from Guyana, Grace Creates, Amanda's Kitchen, and Vibrant Creative Studio. Now, we were talking about making winning decisions, and I think we ended right where I was telling you that sometimes people's self-esteem can be so low that they think every decision they make is wrong.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into how do you make winning decisions. And I know Mr. Wright is going to be talking mostly on this, but I think I have the first one.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the first one is a policy that Mr. Wright and I live by. And it simply put is this: never go to war where there are no spoils.
Yes, yeah.
Spoils. Meaning you don't show up to fights that you have nothing to win. And that's something that we actually live by. If it is going to cost you too much to engage in that thing, in that activity, to be a part of that group, to make that decision, if you know there's nothing to be gained, if it's going to cost you too much, then you refrain from it.
A couple of years ago, they wake up on the shores of, I think it was Australia, if I'm not mistaken. And when they found out that a number of whales, they came into the harbor and they marooned into the harbor and they died. The whales, they were chasing sardines, and then they get trapped into the harbor and they eventually died. Someone wrote and they said the sea giants came to a horrible death because they were chasing small gains. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people eventually lose their purpose, lose their destiny, just like the sea giants, the whale, chasing sardines. Too many people are chasing small gains.
Small matters.
Small matters. And so when big matters arise, they have no energy for it. And I want you today, you're listening to this podcast, you have to prioritize your life.
Absolutely.
Don't be a whale chasing sardines.
Absolutely.
Never go to war where there is no spoils. You know, back then I used to go on social media and I used to debate a lot.
And I used to get so annoyed, guys. I'd be so annoyed. Like
on social media, yeah. On social media, debating with people. Here's the thing, if you win a debate on social media, what do you win? You
Excellent
are just wasting your time. So never go to war where there is no spoil. Don't waste your ammunition on petty battle. And so when you are doing that, you are making winning decision. You can't be swatting off at mosquito while driving.
Yes, dangerous.
It's dangerous. You can end up in a crash. And many times when small matter pop up in your screen, we are driving, but we are swatting at mosquito. There is something that pop up on your radar you should just dismiss as nuisance. So never go to war where there are no spoils.
Absolutely. Now, we have been singing on the second point pretty much from the start of the discussion.
Yeah.
And the second one is that you have to control your impulses.
Yes.
So I can put this in simple layman's term, you know, as a female, you know, we love to shop, we love to go out, we love to buy things. And so, you know, women, wives, girlfriends, whatever you want to call it, mothers, naturally, they're the ones who go to the store to pick up all these different things that are not necessary.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways that it shows how impulsive we are when we're making these decisions. Oh, there's a sale. So you end up buying 10 of the one thing that you're never going to use, never going to wear. Was that a good decision to buy all of those?
No. Here's another one. I like to talk about impulsiveness. How do we make winning decision? So we talk about never go to war where there is no spoil. We talk about control impulsiveness. Another one is take calculative risk.
Calculated risk, yes.
Let me say it. Taking calculative risk. Here's the thing. A risk that will wipe you out in its entirety in one go is not worth taking the risk. Let me say it again. If a risk will wipe you out in its entirety in one go, it is not worth taking the risk. Because when you are taking a risk, you have to what is the worst possible outcome of this risk? So in other words, when we were doing statistics, so a statistics teacher would tell us about margin for error. So when you are taking risk, there must be a margin of error. If this thing does not go through, then I should not take it. There are many leaders, business leaders, they have the risk was so heavy and they took it and it wiped out their entire company. So we are saying that ensure that when you are taking risks, you have margin for error. That is why in an airplane, every critical piece of equipment in an airplane, it have a backup system and then the backup of a backup. So they are preparing for the worst case scenario. They have put into place margin for error. And so when you are making decision, take calculative risk and have margin for error. What if this thing go wrong? Will it wipe me out in its entirety? And if it is no, then you can take a calculative risk. If it is wipe you out in one go in its entirety, then that risk is not worth taking.
Absolutely. And I can actually give another, I'd say an addendum to what Mr. Wright just said, which is if there's anything or any decision that's going to cost you your family, that's too big of a cost to pay.
Yes.
All right. So let me repeat that. If something is going to cost you your family, meaning your immediate family, wife, husband, children, it is too big, it's too great of a cost to pay. And these are some things that we need to think about. Sometimes we're chasing opportunities, and those opportunities turn around and cost us everything, and then we're like, oh my, I wish I had my family. So because no, you have the money and you have the big house and everybody run gone leave you, right? So we have to think about these things. And I love how you put that. Now, what about being accurately informed?
Oh Lord. Here's the thing, babes. We live in an information era. We live in an era where everybody is a journalist. We live
powerful.
in a world that everybody has access to social media. There are so many information. You can upload just about anything and everything. So when you are making decision, ensure that you are that you have advisors, that you have you are tuning to the right voice, and so that you can be accurately informed. Because if you are not accurately informed, you will make foolish decisions.
Absolutely.
You will make decisions that affect your family. You will make decisions that affect your company. You will make decisions that affect your organization, your club, your church, whatever it is. And so when you are accurately informed of the facts, of the truth, the detail, the context of anything, then you are able to make better decisions. Here's the next thing about accurately informed. You also need to know the time and the manner in which you must address certain things, because there are certain things that require more time, so you can research about it, so you can get all the details. But again, you don't want to be discombobulated with information overload, but you want the information to be as accurately as possible. You can't make decision where you are not accurately informed.
You know, a lot of people, and again, it will boil down to impulsiveness. A lot of people will make some major decisions without any information at all. You know, and then afterwards, they're like, okay, I purchased this car and I didn't make sure that it wasn't damaged. And then you end up buying it as is, where is, you can't return it. You know, you make some decisions and then you're saying to yourself, man, I bought a lemon. No, I can't get my money back. You did not consult with anyone about what you were doing, and then ended up in a situation where it was just really horrifying. Now, if you are purchasing a house for the first time, naturally you're not gonna jump into that thing and not consult with somebody. You must have a realtor, you must have an attorney, you must have the people around who are experts in their field so that they can guide you. And that's how you make winning decisions. Isn't there a proverb that says, in the multitude of counsel,
in the multiple of counsel, there's wisdom.
Right. So you have different people to guide you, but they're experts in what they're doing.
And there are a lot of people. You mentioned that stories after stories where people make decisions and they were not accurately informed, because a person can purchase a house. I'm glad you bring that up. You can purchase a house. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but you can purchase a house and there's a caveat on it, and you are in all kind of problem, because you can purchase a house to build a supermarket, a store, and only when you purchase that and you are going through the floor plan, only to realize that there's a caveat on it. You can't use this piece of land to build commercial. It is for residential use, and so you have spent this money. You can't sell it back. You have a mortgage on it, so you have made a big decision and you were not accurately informed, and now you have buyer's remorse.
Absolutely. And it happens with a lot of people. And let us not talk about it like winning decisions is just about purchases. Winning decisions also have to do with the people that you associate with. The people that you decide are going to be your friends or your spouse. Do you understand? That's one of the most important decisions you will ever make in life. It's greater than which school you go to. It's greater than many other things, which country you live. If you're not aligned with the right spouse, then your life can take a really bad turn. And so, you know, when we talk about winning decisions, we're talking about making sure that when you say, this is what I'm going to do, as Mr. Wright would have mentioned, these things are guiding you as to how you go about it. But there's more. Like, we also have to contemplate consequences. So like in my house, Mr. Wright is one of those persons who always talk about consequences. So he get up every day and he'll say consequences. I promise you, that's all he talks about, right? But it's because he is reminding me that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And sometimes it may be delayed. Remember, we spoke about this earlier?
Yeah.
It may be delayed, but it definitely compounds over time.
Yeah,
Elaborate on that for us.
It compound. As I said, what we do in life, most of the things that we do in life, it compounds. There are some things in life that are immediate. Let's say somebody run a stoplight.
Right.
That action can lead to an immediate reaction.
Problem.
But let's say that person is smoking cigarette and he takes up a box of cigarette today and starts smoking. Now, he might not see any ill effect. Is that a word? Ill effect of it.
Okay.
Or he might not see a health issue from it.
Right.
Immediately. But if that person continue to smoke a box of cigarette every single day, let's say for the next 10 years, I can guarantee you, then illness will show up. And so we have to weigh the consequences of our decision. Will this decision comes as a reward, or will it give us a consequence? Remember, we said at the start of the show that when we are born, we look like our parents, but when we die, we are going to look like our decision, because our decision will stamp us.
The decision is what we will look at your life and say, did this person live a good life, or was this person a complete waste of existence? There was actually a video that went viral here in the Jamaican community. So maybe our international people won't necessarily know it, of a funeral where a sister went up and she was talking about her brother. And she didn't have good things to say about the brother at all. And the video went viral to the point that everyone was asking, what did he do? Why was he such a bad person? And so when Mr. Wright mentioned about, at the end of our life, we look like our decisions. I remembered that meme and that reel that was going viral, because everybody was saying, what did he do that was so bad? And man, when the revelation came, people were like, okay, he was really something else. So that's a very good one to mention.
And just to wrap up, all of us makes poor decision
at some point in time.
But it is for us to reborn. What we want to do in life is to make better decision than we make foolish one. And then eventually that will override because you're not going to live your life and we just make absolutely 100 decision. We are going to make poor decision in business, with our relationship, with our finance. We're going to make poor decision. But I want you out there to do it, that if you have made a series of poor decision, is that you can forgive yourself. And sometimes others might not forgive you, but God forgive you, and you have to forgive yourself and keep on walking. I don't want to say Johnny Walker because we don't drink, but like Johnny Walker, keep on walking.
You don't drink.
Like Johnny Walker, keep on walking. And as I like to say no, because I got a really good thing from boxing, is that if you're going to be a world champion in boxing, you'll have to be able to take a punch. And throw a punch.
Absolutely.
So if life is punching you same way, take a punch and move on. That is why boxers train to take punch. You must be able to take a punch. Take a licking and keep on ticking. Subscribe.
Absolutely. That's it for the Designers of Change episode 3 on season 2. Excited. Winning decisions. You were taught today how to make those winning decisions. Go ahead, go follow us on all our social media platforms, Designers of Change. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can see when the episodes are premiering.
Yep.
And also, if you are more of the audio kind, definitely follow us on all the streaming platforms. Again, we want to say thank you to our amazing sponsors, Jace Myrie Media, Mind Food International, Superlative Auto, Caribbean Gospel TV, Grace Creates, Amanda's Kitchen, and MAAD 97.5 FM, all the way from Guyana, and Vibrant Creative Studio. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us for the Designers of Change podcast. Join us on the next episode.